In this bulletin, China snubs OEM supplies for their office printers. Industry leaders gather, and many North American remanufacturers point the finger of blame.
From across the planet, Recycling Times keeps you in touch with the latest computer printing news.
Hello, I'm David Gibbons. Welcome back after a couple of weeks of my travels to meet with the industry in India, Vietnam, Australia and the United States. Here is the news. The central government of China purchased almost 18,000 printers from various OEMs in the last 12 months. But they will not allow the OEMs the much needed and lucrative supplies contracts to run the machines. Only aftermarket suppliers PrintRite, 9-Star, Beijing Laser High Technology and Mipo International Limited have been allowed to provide consumables for the government. OEM supplies can only be purchased when the aftermarket supplies are not available. Originally, only OEMs could supply consumables. However, after 2010, the newly established Chinese government centralized procurement office offered aftermarket supplies firms an opportunity to compete with OEMs. OEMs have told Recycling Times that the pendulum has swung too far the other way, with OEMs expected to supply the hardware at bargain prices, but not permitted to compete with consumables sales. More than 2,500 have turned out to the 14th ITEX show in Las Vegas. Held again at the Rio Casino, the publishers of Image Source magazine provided a popular conference program as well as an expo for the imaging channels and MPS providers. Many aftermarket suppliers used the event to connect with recharges and supplies channels as well.
It's been a game changer, anywhere from MPS to managed services to aftermarket and supplies. Attendees come to ITEX because they're going to find it here and the latest in innovation and technology.
It's been happening every year since 1984, and it will happen again this year in June in Santa Barbara, California. The Toner Conference will look at new developments as well as the threats from other technologies such as inkjet.
Our primary objectives with our event is to bring together the OEMs and the aftermarket to discuss the latest developments in the technology of the industry.
Market analysis, trends and forecasting will provide market leaders with new strategies. Organiser Terry Gorka says the unique feature this year's event is a focus on production printing as well as office printing. Major partner is the Graphic Communications Institute of the California State Polytechnic University.
And Cal Poly is one of the leading institutions in the world to test equipment for major OEMs including Xerox, HP, Ricoh and a number of others.
Many remanufacturers in North America are complaining their industry has gone sour and they're pointing the finger. Some say the influx of patent infringing clones have destroyed the market. Others are blaming the ongoing wave of lawsuits from the OEMs, and yet others want suppliers of component parts for cartridges to do more to protect them. So a summit has been called for May 29 and 30 in Las Vegas to draw the industry together to find solutions. 14 industry leaders have agreed to address the forum, which will be held at the new South Point Casino in Las Vegas. But it will not be a talk from speakers only. Attendees will have an open microphone opportunity to speak up so others can hear what is hurting the aftermarket industry. More information about the RT Imaging Summit is online at irecyclingtimes.com. One Spanish remanufacturer has had enough when it comes to cloned cartridges. Javier Martinez at Consuprint says he will charge €15 or $21 for each clone he receives from empties collectors. Javier says clones violate the IP rights of the manufacturer, are bad for the environment and place his workers at risk. A Los Angeles-based remanufacturer who has been a target in recent OEM lawsuits has obtained a patent on its own gears for replacement OPC drums. Green Project call the distinctive bright green gear the GP gear and will use it in most of their popular monochrome and colour cartridges. According to Joseph Wu, the gear has been inspected by US Customs and the patent has been accepted by the US PTO office. The printer consumable market in Asia Pacific, excluding Japan region, has declined 4.6% compared with the same time last year. According to research group IDC, the political instability in Thailand has affected sales channels with a market decline of 30% in just the last quarter. IDC estimates the market to now be worth $1.65 billion US. Cincinnati ink supplier Collins Inkjet has won a preliminary injunction against Eastman Kodak. Collins claims Kodak is engaging in unlawful and anti-competitive behaviour to force them out of business. Collins is the only company other than Kodak to make ink for Kodak Versamark printers. Kodak was ordered to cease the alleged practices for 6 months, but the case continues. HP claims it has solved the two biggest problems in 3D printed development: speed and quality. And according to CEO Meg Whitman, HP will make its first big 3D technology announcement in June. And in brief, large US retailers like Staples are closing their bricks and mortar stores in favour of online sales. Chinese toner producing giant Hubei Dinglong has used its remanufacturing subsidiary Mito Color to purchase a further $1.81 million or 12% stake of remanufacturer Kalian. Hewlett-Packard Australia has reported a net loss of 270 million Aussie dollars or $243 million US, almost 5 times the loss for the previous year. Parts Now, the largest distributor of printer parts in North America, has launched a new website allowing customers to access available inventory at all of its 7 distribution centres. Canon Middle East was the only private sector organisation to be granted the best environmental practices in the Arab world. Epson has unveiled 18 new inkjet business printers in Vienna, but what caused most attention was a small silver pouch that will allow Epson printers to print 75,000 pages. Epson expects this new technology to squeeze laser printers out of the office once and for all. And a Cartridge World store owner has come up with a plan that is growing loyalty with his customers.
Basically it means endless printing. They never need to buy another printer again.
And you can read more about the initiative, which is capturing attention, in this month's Recycling Times magazine with Cartridge World's Darren Turner on the front cover. Go to irecyclingtimes.com. Well, those were the top stories this week. Thanks for watching. See you again next week. I'm David Gibbons.